I'm Natalie. I am a second semester sophomore at the University of Kentucky. I am a chemical engineering major with a minor in math and computer science. I'm also in the Honors College. I'm in a few other clubs other than SWE. I'm in College Mentors for Kids, and I'm also in Engineers Without Borders. I'm also involved with working at a part-time job at Panera.
Hi everyone, my name is Madeline. I am a sophomore in the Materials Engineering program here at UK. Outside of classes, I'm involved in SWE, the Society of Women in Engineering, as well as the Shellgren Fellowship, which is a year program for sophomores who are interested in research. So through that program, I have been doing some research with one of the materials engineering professors here on campus.
Hi, my name's Jenny. I'm a freshman here at UK. I am from Western Kentucky and I am majoring in computer science and computer engineering. I am a member of SWE and the Air Force ROTC detachment here on campus. And a fun fact about me, I can play trombone fairly well. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So how did I know I wanted to be an engineer, and when did I decide? So I wanted to be an engineer probably back like maybe 5th grade is when I decided. I took a lot of coding camps over the summer because I wanted to make video games. I wanted to be like the video game creator, but I was also very art-minded, but I really liked math. And so I got introduced very young to engineering, which is essentially like a combination of those. Like I'm really creatively thinking, but I also am very like left-brained. Like I can think very logically. And so engineering seemed like the perfect mashup of those two things. So in middle school, when I took all of those like clubs and classes and stuff, when I learned how to code and I did like little things, like going to like a tech camp, I just was like, yeah, I like being in engineering. I enjoy it. And then in high school, I finally decided like completely when I was applying for colleges, because I was involved in this club called TSA, which is Technology Student Association. And it was super fun. We did a lot of like engineering based activities and engineering competitions that I entered in at like the state and national level. And I really recommend doing that because it gave me like a fully understanding of what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it. And I'm really passionate about engineering and like how you can combine both art and creativity and logic in one.
I decided I was interested in engineering in 8th grade. At my school, I got to be involved in this program called Future City, which is essentially an engineering competition. You have to design and build a city 200 years in the future. And through this really exciting experience, I got to meet a lot of real-life engineers and learn exactly what they did. And I just thought, wow, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to be a problem solver and I want to make everybody's lives better.
What continues to inspire me to be an engineer is knowing that I'm going to make a difference in whatever I do, and knowing that what I'm going to do with my life is actually going to change something, and like I'm going to be creating and making something new every single day. And that's really cool. I really like that idea. And so what I actually want to end up doing with my career is I want to end up working in the research and development industry for beauty products. So like mascara or like eyeshadow or lip gloss, I want to end up doing that and making those products and figuring out like what mixture of certain chemicals we need to make the product like work well with skin and stuff. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to make them more environmentally sustainable, less cruelty for animals, more like safe for your skin, like less chemicals involved, and like try to come up with better, more sustainable ways to create those kind of products, such as like shampoo, conditioner, or any kind of beauty products.
I'm inspired to be an engineer because I want to make the world a better place. I want us to have more sustainable materials to build with and make products out of, so that we can have a really more eco-friendly lifestyle for our planet. And additionally with that, I am really interested in problem solving. That goes hand in hand with wanting to make things more sustainable. And so in the future, after I graduate, I would really like to work for a company where I can do some research and development to make products more sustainable, so that we have a planet for, of course, all of you guys and future generations.
So when I was in middle school, we didn't have many STEM activities after school. So instead of, joining a club or something, I would join as many math classes as I could, many science classes as I could, just to learn, as much as I could. I would tinker with things. I would read books I found interesting. So just find your topics that you like and learn about them. Find what you like to do, and you'll be perfectly fine.
I was actually involved in a lot of STEM activities in middle school. I was a very creative child and also a very logical child. So my parents signed me up for a lot of tech camps. And so I would go to these coding camps, video game making camps is what they were called. And I learned how to code when I was in like 6th grade or 7th grade. And I learned like all through middle school how to code. And then all through high school, I built on that coding stuff that I learned in middle school. And I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I didn't think it was like a chore at all. And at school, in middle school, I was involved in like coding classes there. And we had like a junior science Olympic. I don't know if you've heard of the Science Olympics, but we had a junior version at our middle school. And so I did basically like little engineering things in middle school. And in high school, I continued to be involved in these activities. But in middle school, I was involved in a lot of them.
So what is SWE? SWE is the Society of Women Engineers, and we are a group of women on campus who are passionate about engineering and STEM, and especially about women being present in those fields. And so our organization works really hard as a network, a social network, to make sure that we have support in our studies and that we have help if we need it. So we have study nights and things like that give us help in our studies, but also we have nights that are about relaxing and de-stressing, because it can be stressful at times. And then we also have outreach. We help local schools and other places in the community sponsor clubs or really anything that can get kids interested in STEM. And so that's just a little bit of what we do.
For me, SWE is a social organization here on campus, but it's also a great professional organization. So here our chapter is about meeting other female engineers, getting to network with them, have great study partners, know people in your classes, and we do a lot of fun things on a monthly basis with each other. We'll have study nights, at our monthly meetings there's always food, and we'll watch movies or have paint nights. Those are really great just to meet other women that you might have classes with, or just to have friends outside of class that have similar interests with you. And on the other side, the professional side, we get to meet a lot of employers at our monthly meetings or other events, and this is really excellent for networking, hearing about places you might want to work at, do an internship with. And I wouldn't have those opportunities outside of SWE with those direct connections. And I think that's a really valuable part of the Society of Women Engineers.
So what do you do in college? Well, for classes, it's very different from elementary, middle, and high school. You can take classes in all sorts of things. And so as a computer engineering major, I'm right now taking calculus, physics, a computer language class where I'm learning the C+ language, and a basic engineering class that all freshmen have to take, as well as some Air Force ROTC classes. And the fun thing about college is that all of those are STEM classes, but if I wanted to, I could take, English classes, literature classes, philosophy classes, classes about religion or rocks, or really any topic you can think of. There's probably a class for it. And last semester I took a class about philosophy and literature, and it was so much fun and so different from the classes I'm taking as an engineering and STEM major. So you're really not bound to any sort of one group of classes like you might be right now. So it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of work, and I'm hoping you're looking forward to it.
As an engineering major, you do take a lot of classes that are either math related or completely math based. And that might sound a little scary if math is not your favorite. Math is not my favorite subject, but it's really not that big of a deal because at the end of the day, it all gets related back to engineering and problem solving. It's just that math is a great tool to solve those problems. So like I said, we're working with a lot of real world problems in class, and you get to see those results with what you're doing. And I've also had the opportunity to work in some labs and do hands-on experiments. It's not just watching your teacher do something and then you get to do it too. You get to do it by yourself from start to finish and see all of your results, put everything together, and that's something I really love about engineering. I am also involved in some research outside of class that kind of counts as a class, but it isn't graded like a normal class would be, and that's just extra lab time that I get to work on real world problems.
Is engineering fun? I think so. I think that it's very fun. You get to learn something new every single day. You get to try out something new every single day, which is really, really cool. But is it hard? Yes, it's really hard. It's one of the hardest majors I think there is, and I think that it's well worth it though to choose it. I am a chemical engineering major, and chemical engineering is not easy, but it's really fun to learn about like the way things work on like a chemical level, or like on a material or like biomaterial level. I think that's really interesting, and you get to learn and apply this knowledge, and that's what makes it fun, is getting to learn about the things and then applying them.
Engineering is a super fun major to be in. Of course, it can be challenging at some points because the classes are harder or you're working on really complex problems, but it's also really exciting to see things that are very applicable to the real world. And with those hard classes, you're often paired in teams, so you get to meet other really great people, really smart people. Those people can end up being your friends or study partners. It's really great to have teamwork experience.
So in my classes, there's definitely more guys than girls. I'd say that in like a 30-person class, there's maybe 7 to 10 girls in the class, compared to the, 20 rest of the guys. But I think that's what being like a woman in STEM, that just makes it all so much more powerful, is because you chose to go into this major of basically all men, and you're gonna succeed at it, and it's really empowering to be one of the only girls. And that's what makes it like the amount of girls in the class, that makes you a really tight-knit community, and like all of the other girls and you're friends with them because there's not many of you. And I really like the fact that it's a very close-knit, tight community.
Well, as for my classes, there are mostly men, but I am glad to see that there are more women joining engineering than when I was in high school or when I was in middle school. I was maybe one of 4 or 5 girls in my science classes in high school. So I am definitely excited to see, like 10, 12, maybe even 15 girls in a 40-person class. It's exciting to see, that growth. So my next question is, what is my plan? And it's a long plan because engineering does take a while. You have to be in school for quite a bit. Most people do about 4 years. I am taking 5 because I'm doing a double major. And so I'm gonna hopefully graduate with both a degree in computer engineering and computer science. And after I graduate, I am joining the Air Force. I've got my little flag up here. Don't know if you can see it. It's kind of dark. And so once I join the Air Force, I would like to be a drone pilot and drone developer. So I'll be working with the robotics and the flight mechanisms of drones. And then after that, in like 15 years, I'd like to leave the Air Force and then go work for some sort of robotics and flight companies, like Space Tango, SpaceX, NASA, all those big companies that work in development. And then as a side, I have a specific interest in prosthetics. I really want to work on developing useful, productive prosthetics for people who have been hurt, either on a civilian side or in the military. I want to do something that's going to help people, and so that's my end goal, to work on drones and robotics and help people. So yeah.